It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Friday, January 10th. Sorry for the delay. I'm here. How is everyone doing today? It is another day in what only feels like the most surreal, what I can only describe as like an apocalyptic week here in Los Angeles. I'm only running late and feel a little bit disheveled because a new fire just popped up. It's called the Archer Fire. It's in the Granada Hills area, which is in the North Valley. I'm just about to bring Zack Peter up because Zack is in the show today. Thank God. So I have someone to commiserate with and talk to, an LA local, which is right by this new fire is right by my kids' school. Thank God. I think that they have control over it, but that's why I was just like, what? I got frozen. But I am here. Everyone, we're going to talk about so much. We have so much going on. I have to do it. So, everyone, welcome. This is your daily dose of Donna. Okay, I am so excited that I get my friend Zack Peter. You know him from No Filter with Zack Peter. He is climbing the charts like a crazy mofo. Every single day I look at his numbers. I mean, this guy is just taking over the world. Zack Peter, welcome to the show.
Hi. Hi, Daily
How are
Dose of
you?
Donna.
You can only call me Daily Dose of Donna, and I can only call you No Filter.
That's me.
It's pretty crazy what is happening. I don't know how this is happening, but you and I are just number one, nothing has bonded us more than these last couple of weeks, just with the fires, Blake Lively, Justin
I
Baldoni. Like,
know.
we basically live together. Like,
Yeah,
my husband
Hollywood
should be
has gone up
concerned
in flames and it's brought us together.
in so many ways.
Yeah.
It's really wild, and we just, I feel like you and I are very much on the same page about a lot of things. And sometimes I feel like you are a little bit further in certain ways and I'm a little bit further in other ways, but we can see each other's positions, right?
Yeah. And
um
I usually am trying to convince you of what's coming. And you're like, no, that's crazy. No, Blake's innocent. No, the
oh,
fire.
stop.
Like, and I'm like, but Donna, this. And then you're starting to come around to see that I'm just good at predicting the future.
I don't know if you're good at predicting the future, but you do. Look, I think the most important thing in the world is having an open mind and being able to be okay with questioning things. That's one thing that I feel like I have done a really good job at in the last year or two, is just saying, like, I am not always right and I'm okay with that. Like, I
Yeah.
am okay to admit when I'm wrong, and I'm okay to know that I don't have all the answers when it comes to celebrity stuff, when it comes to reality show favorites, and when it comes to world news and politics or whatever. I am so willing to hear your arguments, like, not you, but the world's, right? If someone ever tells me, Donna, no, you're wrong, as long as they're not a jerk about it, like, tell me why. Let's talk about it, because I will happily hear your argument, and then I'll question it and I will sleep on it and I'll think about it and I'll say, maybe they have a point. What I don't like is when people say, no, you're wrong. It's misinformation. You
That's people on the
ignorant
internet.
jerk.
Those are the comments. Yeah. Conspiracy. Stop spreading misinformation.
Stop spreading the news.
Which is so crazy to me because it's like this whole term of misinformation really doesn't have, and I think I tweeted this and I was like, there's no real definition for the term misinformation. It's just this subjective term that people like to use when there's information that contradicts their own personal beliefs. And they weaponize this term of misinformation when, like, perfect example with the fires is it's like there was not a whole lot of information. So a lot of people were trying to make sense of things and question things and be like trying to just understand what's going on. So when there's a lack of information, then it's not fair to consider one theory or another as misinformation when we don't have all of those details. But people weaponize that term in order to shut down an open dialogue. And I just think, we've been so conditioned for so long to just listen to what we're being told. But if anything, over the last few years, we're now starting to realize like the things that we're being told aren't always the honest truth, or they're not always fully transparent, because things don't add up. And I think when you have the power of social media, we have access to information, and that can be dangerous because we're getting an influx of information that we can't always vet. But that's why we have to like really put on our critical thinking caps and like use our brains intelligently, because we're capable of doing that, even though I feel like the powers that be sometimes want us to believe that we're dumb and we should just listen to them without asking questions. And I think more and more people are waking up and starting to say, hey, but logically, these things just don't make sense, right? Like this windstorm that we've had for the past week that's just spread 12,000 fires all around Southern California.
Totally. Number one, the first comment I just saw says, "What is Donna drinking?" And I was like, "Do I seem like I'm drunk?" But then it says it looks delicious. I'm drinking a Waterloo. Um, Joe says misinformation, conspiracy, the lies. What is true is I am and have been Craig Conover's rebound hookup. Well, someone should be. We'll get into that in a little bit later, but you're right. By the way, for all of you lovers, Vicente is here. My gardener did show up today. Sweet Vicente. If you only knew what a job these gardeners have after these
Yeah.
wins. Because Tuesday we did have wins. Sorry, it's
Yeah.
going to be loud for just a minute. We did have crazy wins one day on
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We're now on
And we did get a
Friday.
lot of debris. Lots and lots and lots of debris from Tuesday for about 24 hours. We did have pretty intense winds.
Hmm.
And so I have a lot of like branches and little mini, stuff like leaves and stuff all over the yards and ashes, probably so much ash all over everywhere. But I agree. I never used to question what people would tell me on the news. Growing up, I was someone that like followed
Yeah.
protocol. The news tells you, yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whatever you say, I never questioned authority. I never questioned the news. I never questioned anything. I started to question things personally. I think everyone needs to go through their own experience, something that
Yeah.
happens personally to them where they say, that's not true. I see it with my own eyes. You're
Yeah.
lying to me. You're lying to me. I saw it personally for me after October 7th. That was my personal wake up call. I think everyone has to have their personal wake up call where you say, wait, the news, the New York Times, which I looked at as like a really true article or a true source of truth, is telling me lies. Now I have to question everything I'm seeing. So now I really do look at everything with open eyes. I like the free press. The free press in terms of like media to me is a really great way to look at unbiased news. But as we can see, when you have, with these fires specifically, the best way to look at it is when you see social media and you see actual people that are here in Los Angeles filming what is actually happening in front of them.
Yeah.
You can't say that's misinformation. We see people
No.
with gas cans.
Yeah. Lighting things up in these videos and being reported on the Citizens app. Like we're seeing people that the difference now is people have iPhones and we have social media. So people can put this information out there and we can access it instantly. So when we're seeing people light things on fire all throughout the town, it start you and then but we're told that like this is solely because of the winds. Like that's not to say that winds aren't a factor or that climate change isn't a factor, because I don't know about you, but the influx of messages that I've gotten are like I'm a climate change denier.
I got that too.
And I'm
And
like I've
actually I
never
got that in person this morning from someone I consider
yeah.
a friend. I
I'm
got
like I'm not
literally looked at like I had 6 heads when I said, "No, I think we're confirmed that there's arson involved yesterday." And she looked at me like I was like
crazy.
she was concerned for my health. She goes, "What? Are you serious? Don't you understand what is going on in
Fire science.
California?"
That's the new words. The fire science, the winds. The embers are flying 40 miles from Palisades all the way to Pasadena, from the Palisades to Pasadena.
If when I grow up, I wanna be an ember. I've never
Right?
seen an ember. Are
It's
embers
the
the new
little
flying
ember that
cars?
could. Yeah.
Embers have never it's the little engine that could. I've never seen an ember I actually Googled it last night with Lance. I said, "What is the average, like, flight of an ember?" They said the longest an ember can really survive, like, in crazy 90 mile per hour winds is like 24 miles, 90-mile-per-hour winds. That was not the case
No. They were
yesterday.
crazy winds, but that was not the case. Crazy winds on Tuesday night, but that was not the case when all these other fires started popping up in the last, what, 24 to 36 hours?
Just an hour ago. What do you mean 20 minutes ago a new fire popped up in Granada Hills?
And there are no fucking winds outside. Sorry, I didn't
I'm
mean to cut, but
looking
like
right
there are
now
no
outside.
winds. I
Well,
remember
my
when
friend
you
that I'm texting, this is my friend Adam, who was at my house a couple days ago because he had no power. I've known him since I'm 16, and his parents live out there. He's going to drive over there and help them pack just in case, even though they're just in a warning zone. But he's driving over because everyone has these, elderly parents, 70,
yeah.
75-year-old parents. And he said, the amount of expensive handbags my mom has could feed a small country. I need to go over there and help her pack. But he goes, they're in the middle of their home. There's nothing out there. It's totally still. It's still right now in Los Angeles, you guys.
Yeah.
And it's not a warm day. I mean, it's not cold.
It's like 70s.
When I woke up this morning, I put on a jacket to go outside. It's
Yeah.
chilly. It's not fire season. There is no reason for these fires.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like when you text me yesterday about the Calabasas fire and you're like, they're saying it's winds, and then you send me a video outside your window of no winds, and I'm
And
like,
it looked like a still photo.
yeah. And then I call my dad, who's also in the valley, and he's like, no, there's no winds. And I call my mom, who's closer out to the Eaton fire, and she's like, there's no winds. Everyone's just saying it's smoky. There's a lot of smoke in the air, which we're all breathing in the debris because there are ashes flying throughout Los Angeles. But everybody's like, there's no, like every part of town that I've checked in, no, because all of my family is here. All my immediate family, all my extended family, all the extended family here in LA got on a WhatsApp group thread so that we can all keep each other posted. And nobody has seen these crazy winds that are just taking all these embers all over Southern California.
I think what's frustrating is this idea, and like, you and I have been talking offline about this a lot, is just this feeling of, you know, yesterday, Brian Enton, who is this really respected journalist who's been talking a lot, he got really famous during the Gabby Petito case. And he's been talking a lot about all kinds of things, literally tweeted, confirmed that LAPD has a suspect in
Yeah.
custody that was caught in Woodland Hills. The video went viral. It was all over the place. I mean, I could pull it up and show you guys about a man that got arrested by actually like Vicente gardeners that were working on a home, saw this man with gas cans. This is a man that apparently, and this could be a rumor, so I don't want to confirm unless LAPD says, but apparently this guy had 5 cell phones on him. So I have no idea what kind of connections this guy has and where he comes from and uh who he's working with. I have no idea. But the guy gets tackled by local citizens, by men and people that live in the area. He was on a bicycle. They tackle him down and they grab him and they wait for the local police to come, and they end up um obviously, what are you doing with gas cans in a community of beautiful homes? Why? Obviously, you're there for nefarious reasons. There's no question whether or not you're the one that was responsible for the previous fires. We don't know, but you're obviously up to no good. So they tackle him, they arrest him. And on that video where I'm talking about this, where I literally have a screenshot that the LAPD has announced that they have a suspect in custody, my comments are, this is misinformation. This is propaganda. Stop
Yeah.
spreading misinformation. You are MAGA.
It
What?
was what I was like, what? Well, because all I had said was the most controversial thing I had said was these fires don't seem natural. And then people are like, unnatural. What do you mean unnatural? And I'm just like, they just don't, I don't see 8 random fires that are miles and miles apart just popping up left and right with no winds. And like everyone's like, well, people actually study this. You don't study this. Like you don't know fire science. And so but suddenly every barber from Minnesota knows fire science, right? Because the news says it's the wind. And she's like, Zach, you don't know what you're talking about. It's the wind. And I'm like, bitch, you're not even in Los Angeles. Like, and you want to come and tell me what I'm seeing outside my window? Like, what? But Donna, we don't know fire science. So we're dumb.
I mean, I definitely don't know fire science. And I also don't want firefighters to look like me, like that
No,
video you posted.
I know.
I also will say another thing is like, So someone said, "I don't want this to be politicized. I don't like that they're politicizing this because we're questioning the leadership in California." So let's talk
Yeah,
about that really fast, and this is going to go
please.
into the Kim people are dying and Spencer Pratt and Whitney Cumming. So I
Yes.
want to talk for a moment about Spencer Pratt. Guys, I know that Spencer is a celebrity. I know that Spencer and Heidi are just two of the thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are suffering right now, who have lost their homes. And I want to be very clear for those of you that are like not in Los Angeles and don't understand. Pasadena and the Eaton fire has affected people of all socioeconomic backgrounds. We have the millionaires, multimillionaires, to people that are just surviving paycheck to paycheck. How do I know? Because in a lot of ways, that could be us, right? Lance, my husband, works in the industry. We have months where he's not working, where if we lose our home, like we have
Yeah.
our home, right? It's not like we're sitting on like gazillions of dollars in our bank account that we're just like so rich. It's
Yeah.
like we're all working class. We just work for our money. Most people in California own homes and they own assets. Like that's what they own. Your material assets are your wealth. Some people have crazy investments in other ways, but the majority of people, I think, in California, unless they have generational wealth,
Yeah.
are just like they're sitting on their income, on their work, on their property, on their worth. You wouldn't believe this, but Spencer and Heidi are those people. And
Yeah.
Spencer broke my damn heart because I was watching him last night and he's been talking about this very openly. Spencer Pratt has been posting so vulnerably all about his journey. He posted a TikTok of him first seeing the smoke. And this is so wild because he had no idea he was going to lose his home. So he's all over TikTok constantly. He's very chronically online. And so he posts the smoke and he's like, there's the fire, there's the smoke, and like here's our house. So we're just gonna like get out of here. No fear in his voice. I mean, maybe a
Yeah.
little concern, but no fear, no rush. And then he's like, where are the planes? Like, where's the water drops? Like, this is weird. Where are the water drops? And then the next video is him getting like crazy close to the fire. And he's like, we gotta go. We
Yeah.
gotta go. And then the next video is like, we lost everything. I'm getting bagels, like in shock, clear in shock. And now he's
No,
saying,
it was the no, he after that he released the footage from inside the house of
oh, the crib.
the crib burning.
And with that Enya music, I cried. And then now he's coming to, like he's in shock, and then he's coming to. And of course, we see Heidi, who's the mom, who, of course, she's so
Heartbroken.
emotional as any
Yeah.
mother would be. Like that's their baby's home and everything. Spencer is saying what so many American, hardworking Los Angelans in the Eaton fire, and then of course in Palisades are going through. He says, I have no fire insurance. They canceled my insurance last year, just like so many insurance companies did. They canceled my insurance last year. I didn't get new fire insurance. I don't think the majority of people understand how hard it is to get insured right now for fire insurance prior to this fire, obviously,
Yeah.
because insurance companies already don't want to insure people. They canceled their fire insurance. He doesn't have insurance on fire, meaning there's no coverage for that
They're
fire for
screwed.
their home.
Yeah.
He says, I have no money other than what was in that house. All my money went into my material possessions, all my designer clothes, all my crystals, all the money I spent on eBay on those like artifacts for my kids, for my collections, all my hummingbird stuff, all my this, all my that, all my this. I have 3 shirts that say Heidi on them and 2 pairs of shorts. He has nothing. He's like, I'm going on Snapchat every day to make $125. You guys, these people are now poor. Like, it's so
Yeah.
sad. It's actually devastating. And what's crazier about it is Bethany posted this video this morning. I sent it to you. I mean, I don't know if we should play it or not. About why people are struggling to feel sad for people because they had in their minds
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I watched the video and I'm glad you're bringing it up on your show because I wanted to talk about it on my show too. Because I've even seen, I mean, it's a weird juxtaposition, right? Because I keep seeing these articles from like Page Six or the New York Post and like this celebrity's house burned down. I saw someone in the live chat like Milo Ventimiglia and Paris Hilton and
Wait, can I
all
tell
the,
you something about Milo really fast? This is
yeah,
totally crazy. For those of you that watch This Is Us, was that the name of the show?
yeah.
I only watched like the first 2 seasons. In This Is Us,
Oh, yeah.
Milo and Mandy Moore played the parents, and they lost their house in a fire, and both of their houses were lost in this fire,
Yeah.
separate fires. She lost her house in the Eaton fire, and he lost his house in Palisades. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Both
It
of
is
them, like
crazy.
life imitated art for both of them. I thought that was crazy. Keep going.
I know. I saw headlines about it. And I was like, ugh. I mean, it's hard, right? Because it's like, I think you and I see the human side of these people where not all of them are Paris Hilton, right? Where they can rebuild and they can just, or they have other homes and other
Yeah,
properties.
that's
I
their
mean, it's
second
still,
or third house.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a loss, right? It's still, and you want to acknowledge that, like, sorry, Paris, you lost one of your homes. Like, I get it, you had stuff from your babies in there, whatever, I get it. But also at the same time, just watching the online, the culture shift of seeing people online saying, "Why are you reporting on celebrities' houses burning down? We don't care." You know, and people are just tired of you're seeing this celebrity culture just completely fade away, which was similar to like the sentiment Bethany was bringing on is that like people just don't care about that anymore. It's out of touch to what people are dealing with in their own reality throughout the country right now, so people don't have that same interest in watching these celebrities mourn the loss of their homes and their properties and their estates, and it's just because we've distanced ourselves from idolizing celebrities in this way that like people don't really care about them as much anymore. But it is unfortunate because you do have instances like Spencer and Heidi, who are people that technically, yes, they're famous and we know them, but they're also working people. Like, yes, they may have a higher income bracket, but they are working to pay for that income bracket.
Yeah. What about okay, this is where we get into like the hot takes. So I am convinced that a portion of these fires are definitely man-made. You
Absolutely.
guys can call me whatever you want, but I'm
No
convinced of
doubt.
it.
There's no doubt about that. I
No
don't know
doubt in my
about
mind.
Palisades. I don't know about Ian. It seems convenient. And I've said, like, listen, maybe one of them started naturally. Two of them sounds like a bit of a coincidence, but also like it's not fire season. Like it just, to me, it just didn't add up. But I'm like, I'm willing to even say that the two of them happened, even though they're 35 miles apart. It's in the realm of possibility that maybe they just both conveniently happened to happen and take off the way that they did. But all these other fires, I stand by that. It's not. There's no way that that's all climate change and wind.
So, can I ask you a serious question for all those fire experts in the audience?
All the fire
Because there
science people.
well, I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I really wanna know, without power lines being involved, how are fires started with wind and dry conditions? True, honest question. If there's wind and dry conditions, but there's no power anywhere to be found, how are fires started? Do you have the answer?
Me? I mean, the things that people have been telling me is that a lot
If
of
there's
the
no lightning, there's no
a lot
lightning.
no lightning and no power, that a lot of fires are arson or accidents, right? Like something
Okay, so but
accidentally catches
naturally,
fire.
I'm asking natural with no man power involved. How there's no lightning, you guys. There's no lightning involved at all. I'm seriously questioning natural. How can a natural fire start if there's no source of power and there's no man involvement with just dry brush and wind? Is there a way that, like, I know that you can start a fire by going like this with 2 sticks, right? Like that. So let me ask you guys a question for real. How do you do it? Okay, so people are saying campfire, lightning, sparks from a car, cigarettes,
Yeah.
cigarette butts. So this is all people, right?
Yeah.
Cigarettes, static, power, spark from a chain, truck, lack of oxygen to the area. So yesterday I was watching Spencer Pratt's first initial TikTok video. I'll share it with you guys. Why not?
Yeah. Play it.
And this is when he first was seeing the fire from a distance. And the first thing I thought, and this is when I have my tinfoil hat on, the first thing I thought was, what is possible? What could have started this fire? I swear. And you guys are going to think you'll never think I'm nuts, right? You'll
Me?
never think I'm
Only
nuts.
when you supported Blake Lively.
Shut up. Zach. Okay. You can leave. Okay. I want you to watch this and look up in that area where the fire started. My husband, Lance, thought the fire started at the bottom of Palisades and went up. I said, no. They all start at the top of the hills and they come down towards the homes. Check it out. This is the video. He's a great follow, by the way, you guys.
We got a fire going on behind the house here. Woo! Definitely not gonna say a prayer for the Palisades here. There's the town. There's the fire. Got one helicopter. Where are the airplanes that drop the water? Huh? That looks like a dog. No, I mean like the smoke. I don't see a dog in there, don't worry. That's pretty black smoke. Okay, I should go home and start packing up the house. We got fire.
So as you can
It's so
see,
crazy knowing how this story ends. But
it's
I have my
devastating.
commentary. Go with yours.
Okay, so when I saw this video, because I hadn't seen it yet, I saw it last night for the first time. And I was like, I don't understand. I thought the fire started in the residential area. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, it looks like it started literally on the top of a hiking trail
Yeah.
where nothing was there.
Donna, there are no power lines there. Do you see any power lines there? Like, because people are saying, oh, what happened was the winds came and the winds knocked down the power lines and the power lines caught things on fire and that's how it all took off. You can see in this video from Spencer Pratt, there are no fire lines in this video. There's no crazy winds going on. How did that? There's no crazy heat because Spencer has a jacket on.
No,
and
it
we know
wasn't a
it's
hot
been-
day.
it's been
I can guarantee
all
you
week.
this was a chilly day.
All week, it's been in the 70s. All week.
And they live
So-
by the ocean, so it's even chillier over there.
Yeah. Maybe fireworks. Fireworks could cause.
No, but I will show you another video that I watched last night. I'm going to find it really fast. And I didn't actually know that this was a thing, but it was an arson question for the Palisades for the mayor. Ugh, don't get me started, right? But it was
Karen
asked.
Bass.
It was asked here. I want you guys to watch this.
Karen Basshole.
Hi, Grace Tui.
Okay, don't get me started. Here.
Hi, Grace Tui with the Los Angeles Times. I was hoping Chief Crowley could talk a little bit more about the start of the Palisades fire. We'd heard that, I know we don't know why it started, but we'd heard that it started possibly in a garden in someone's backyard, if you could confirm that. And then how long do we know it took for it to actually reach homes? And I know you said that resources were pre-deployed, but do we know were there actually fire crews in the Palisades when it did start?
Right. So I'll start with your second question and we'll go back. I'll just start with your first one. As for where the start of the fire was in the Palisades fire, again, currently under active investigation. We have our arson investigators that are out right now as we speak, and they are actively investigating. As soon as we have information, we will share that with all of you. I know there's obviously, for the right reasons, a lot of interest in that. So with that, we'll circle back.
We'll circle back. So let's see if we hear back when they circle back. Look, that's a rumor that it started in someone's backyard. Who lives up there?
Yeah. But
Who
see,
lives up
this
there?
is the information that we're getting. But like when you're seeing the footage on the ground, you see Spencer. There's nobody up there. That is up further into the canyons.
That looks literally like the top of a mountain where no one lives. He's like, there's the town, there's the fire.
Yeah.
That should be used as proof. Honestly, there's got to be some really high-powered attorneys that lived in Palisades, Pacific Palisades, because that's like a crazy high-end, community. I would, if I were them, I would band together and I would sue the city of Los Angeles for
Yeah.
failure to take care of us
Was
because
I talking to them about I was talking to someone about this, about a class action lawsuit against the city or the state, because you also see the contributing factors, this is where the climate change comes in. The contributing factors are, there was a lot of what do you call that, all the dry weeds and stuff. Like there was a lot of overgrown dead what is it, foliage?
well, there's so much brush.
Brush.
So what happened was everyone loves to say climate change. Look, we have no rain. We have no rain. It never rains in Los Angeles after pretty much April or May. It hardly rains. Randomly, we'll get a rainy day in October, November, but it rarely does. It's usually very hot in October.
Yeah.
November, December, sometimes we'll get a sprinkle here and there. It rains in Los Angeles usually starting a little bit, maybe January, February, March, April, May. Those are the rainy months. Okay. We got so much rain in 2024. So we have so much greenery. We have
Yeah.
so much brush. It is like it's asking for fire. If a fire starts, it's like, oh, like it's gonna explode, right? Here's another thing really fast. Did you guys see this? Do you want to cry? Are you ready to cry? This
Oh,
made me want to cry. This
I
literally
think I know what you're gonna play.
this is grounds for a lawsuit. This is on the LA Times. Pacific Palisades Reservoir was offline and empty when the firestorm exploded. This reservoir can hold 117 million gallons of water, and it was empty in the heart of the Palisades.
Yeah.
Do you understand this? It was empty.
And not only that, but then you hear about the fire hydrants that weren't dispersing water. And then that was a conspiracy theory until Biden came out and he's just like, oh yeah, it wasn't dispersing water because they had to shut off the power. And when there's no power, we can't access the water in the hydrants. And
Wait, when
people
you
are,
sent me that you told me that they said that, I said, you've got to be joking, that hydrants don't work when power is out, but power
Yeah.
goes out when fire happens. How does that's
exactly.
like
And so,
cutting
and
your
that's
own.
what, and other people were then commenting and they were then saying, like, first of all, what is this, a third world country? And like they should have diesel powered fuel pumps, and they should have generators for this type of instance, where if it's only powered by electricity and the power goes out, then you at least have the diesel powered pumps that you can use, or you have backup generators as a precaution. And apparently neither of those things were a precaution.
So here's the thing is, like, when you live in Los Angeles and you're paying exorbitant property taxes, I just want to give you guys an idea of how
Yeah.
much property taxes are. If you own a $1 million house in Los Angeles, your property taxes per year for a $1 million house are approximately $12,000 to $13,000 a year. Okay.
Wait, Karen says that we're starting a conspiracy that the government started the fires. We've never said that. We have never
What?
made that
So that's the
argument
problem. We can't
at
say
all.
anything without
You
people
can't say
thinking something
anything, or
else.
else you're suddenly an anti-government conspiracy. No, that is
Kristen
not
said
what
that,
either
not
of us said.
Karen. You
Oh,
said
sorry.
Karen.
Well, she sounds like a fucking
Oh,
Karen.
stop. I like a lot of people named Karen. That sucks for Karens out there because there are good Karens in the world.
Listen, they
I
did it to
stand for
themselves.
nice Karens. Kristen, I have never said anything about the government setting off the fires. Who said that? Did you say that, Zach?
What, the government? I never said the government shut. I said Biden said that part of the reason the city turned, or wait, now I forgot what I said. Now she's confused. What did I say? I know I
Zach,
didn't say
when
that.
you come on my show,
I've
I
never
don't know why
accused the
you get
government of
so
doing
many.
this.
Why
I've
do you get
never
so many?
said those words have never come out of my mouth.
Zach, why do you get so many more listens than me? Because when you come on my show, you make people think that I am like a horrible human being. Every day, Zach and I send each other our numbers, like our spots, and I'm like, God damn it, Zach, how'd you go so high? So, okay, Kristen said, no, I did not mean you guys said that. Others in the comments were inferring it. I don't think anyone is inferring that the government set this fire. I don't think, why would they? This makes them look horrible.
Well, there are those not to say that I agree with them, but in going down the different rabbit holes of theories, there's the Diddy theory that they're trying
Can
to
you
burn Diddy.
apologize to Kristen? She's offended that you
Oh, I'm
told her.
sorry, Kristen. I'm sorry, Kristen. I didn't mean to call you a ducking Karen. I apologize. I thought that
Zach,
you were saying we
you know what? Zach, you're a Chad or whatever the male version of a Karen is.
Chad.
I think it is Chad.
Okay, Chad, why is everything a conspiracy? But here's the thing, there shouldn't be conspiracies because we don't have answers to any of this. But anyway, there's the Diddy conspiracy theory, right? If we're going to go down the different rabbit holes, and that's where there's trying to say that they're trying to conceal evidence and that there are tunnels under the Palisades and they're trying to, whatever, get rid of the
I'm
evidence. And
not
there's
there in any way.
I agree.
That's too much. That's cuckoo
That's a little
birdie.
too much. I don't think they would
That's
burn
coconut
down the
tree
town.
land.
Yeah, I don't think they would burn down all of Los Angeles just to get back at Diddy. I'll give you my theory after this. But then the second theory is that the government is trying to open up the land similar to Hawaii and similar to Asheville so that they can create smart cities because the
Also, don't
2028
want to go
Olympics.
there.
Yeah, 2020 Olympics are coming, and so that's the second theory is that they want to open up the land to build a smart city. And then the third theory, I don't think I've heard another solid theory outside. But my thing, and I remember texting you this. What was it? Wednesday night. I was texting you, and I was like, "These fires are too far apart. This doesn't make sense." And you're like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, I think it's some sort of eat the rich, like because look at the cities that they're targeting. It's all these affluent cities that it feels like maybe this is an eat the rich sort of situation where they want to burn down the houses of the very wealthy people here in Los Angeles, Pasadena, Palisades, Hidden or Hollywood Hills. And so now, as more information is coming out, now a lot of this info is still being investigated, but as the info comes out, they are considering the theory that these are targeted and that people are lighting these fires to push people to evacuation so that they can go into the homes and loot them.
So I was talking to a girlfriend today at my gym. I finally worked out today. Even I've been like literally catatonic and like paralyzed for the last 48 hours. But this morning, because no new fires had popped up, since yesterday afternoon, and it was far from my house, I finally felt like, okay, I should move my body a little bit. I went to the gym this morning, and all of the women at my gym, we were all just kind of like, what the hell? Like, because everyone knows someone who's been affected in this fire. I can tell you guys some stories. I was so heartbroken yesterday. One of my good friends who lives just a block away from me, she was telling me about her girlfriend who lived in my neighborhood right before I moved in. I moved here in 2019, 2020. She lived in this neighborhood with her daughters and her husband. And while they lived here, they built their dream home in the Pacific Palisades, their dream home. They were working so hard towards it. They left this neighborhood and they moved to the Pacific Palisades. She was home. Her husband was at work in his office. She gets a call from the school and they say, we have to evacuate the elementary school because the school is like close to the fire. This is the elementary school that ended up burning down, of course.
Yeah.
She rushes, of course, as you would, to go get her little girls. She flies down there to go get her girls, which is in the flat area and like the main part of the neighborhood. If you know Pacific Palisades, flies down there to get her daughters. Now, if you think about if you have to go evacuate, really go get your kids from a potential burning school,
Yeah.
You're not like grabbing your essentials, right?
No.
You're grabbing your keys. She goes
Whatever
to get
you
her
need
girls.
to get out. Yeah.
She goes to get her girls. Guess what? She can't get back to her house. Her house is gone. She doesn't even have a freaking jacket, you guys. They lost their home. Her husband was in the office. They didn't pack not a jacket. Her kids never saw their room again. This is how dire it got for some of these families. Like, I don't think this is how tragic these stories are. And we all know people. Like, if you're here in the Los Angeles family, She's Speaking with Emily Hanks. Emily Hanks from She's Speaking Bravo, that show.
Mhm.
She just posted yesterday that her parents lost their home in the Eaton fire.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So everyone knows someone.
It's crazy. I mean, like I said, all of my family's here. So some of them have been evacuated. Some of them their houses don't have power right now. I don't know anyone that has personally lost. Actually, no, I do know. I do. I have a few friends that have unfortunately lost homes in all of this and are devastated and angry. And I'm like, and there's like you don't even know what to do. And it's almost helpless to sit here in LA and be like, I don't even know how to help these people. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's terrifying.
Well, that reminds me, actually, if you are in the Los Angeles area, or if you are not in the Los Angeles area, tomorrow, Saturday, January 11th, because I can't sit around and do nothing. And Zach, I would love if you could come. I wanted to tell you to stop by if you can. I am hosting a donation center at Lance's studio, F22 Studios in Burbank. And here I'm going to post it. But if you follow me on Instagram, this is the location. I'm posting it on YouTube, but of course it's going to be over on, um, how can I make it so you can see it? There you go. On my Instagram, you can see it there. It's at F22 Studios. If you cannot be there in person, this is what I'm accepting. I just look to see what they need. Gently used clothing, jackets, shoes, any new toiletries. Don't bring used anything when it comes to toiletries, undergarments, socks, blankets, and linens, but pet food and pet supplies.
Yeah.
I heard they need a lot of dog food and like cat stuff and carriers, etc. And then they need gift cards. So Target gift cards, Amazon gift cards, Starbucks, grocery store gift cards. You can do that also like virtually too. But for a lot of people that don't want to do that, you can send via Venmo. I've already gotten hundreds and hundreds of dollars via Venmo. Just put the word fire or donation, and I have my Venmo here. And I've already collected so much. And what I'll do is I will personally go to Target or Amazon and I will buy in smaller denominations and I will get them to the donations that need it. And I will document it all because I will make sure that you guys know that I'm doing this. It's the least we can do. I mean, I feel so if you are watching this, just go to my Instagram and you can email me. So make sure that you guys do that. This is all I can do. Or come and meet me.
Yeah.
I'll be there with my kids and Lance and Zach. I would love if you could stop by if you're free
Well,
tomorrow for a little bit.
actually, so my mom's also hosting one. She has a coffee shop out in Echo Park, which is so she's doing the same thing, but for the
Oh,
people
cool.
of the Eaton Fire. So you're out in the valley in Burbank, but she's doing it out in Echo Park for the next 3 days, starting today. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. She's collecting supplies and she's giving people free coffee for people that come. It's
Oh,
called Temple Grounds. It's at Temple_Grounds on Instagram. All the details are there. She's collecting donations to donate to people of the Eaton Fire because that's where or they're all close to the Eaton
I think
Fire.
we're
and
going to
some of them have
probably end up
dispatchers.
doing the Eaton Fire as well because he's in
Oh, you are?
Burbank. And I feel like that, to be honest, I feel like the Beverly Hills, like West Hollywood or Hollywood to Beverly Hills, like they're probably going to be all that. I don't even know. I just feel like everyone needs something right now. So
Yeah.
wherever we can go is going to be helpful. There's also a lot of people out in the valley, like Deep Valley, that have been affected. But right now, I don't know. I just had to do something. But thank you. And I'll share
Yes,
your
ma'am.
mom's coffee shop as well.
Thank you. And
Um,
then also my friend Jeff, who co-hosts Disaster Daters with me, he's doing outreach for the homeless people right now because obviously not a lot of, I mean, they don't have a place to go. They're on Skid Row. They're out right now. So people have been Venmoing him. So any Venmos that have been sent to me, I've just forwarded them over to him. I'll also forward some over to Donna. And he's buying supplies and taking it directly to the homeless right now, whether it's masks or jackets or water. He's taking pizzas and delivering them to local fire stations. So there
yes,
are.
what do the fire departments need? So I was thinking these gift cards. So I want to know exactly what the fire departments need. Do they need cash? Do they need food? Do they need water?
I
Like
think
what do they I
food.
don't
I
want to
think
bring them
just.
things
I
they
mean,
don't
because you think
need.
about, they're so tired, they're so exhausted. The good thing is a lot of people are making direct donations directly to the LA Fire Department Foundation. I have a link on my Instagram if anybody
Yep.
wants to donate to them directly, which people have been. But with them, I think it's just like food, right? Like a lot of them aren't going home. They're tired. They're having to sleep at the fire stations when they're doing, shift rotations. That I think food is really important. Pizza is something that I know a lot of people are giving to the fire stations right now, which even if they have an influx of pizza, some of them can take them home to their families because they can't even
Yeah.
physically be with their families right now. That, it's a small gesture that really can go a long way.
Yeah. Leslie says, Donna and Zach, what are your thoughts on Jean Smart saying the award shows should be canceled and any money from them donated towards fire related things? So she did have an interesting take, and I actually saw that she posted this. Jean Smart, who I love, I adore Jean Smart. She said that all the networks who make so much money off advertising for airing these shows should think twice before ever airing any of these award shows, because who in the hell wants to celebrate like celebrity winning awards right now?
Yeah.
And did you see that the Critics' Choice Awards, who were supposed to be this Sunday with Chelsea Handler, got pushed
They
already
canceled?
2 weeks?
Ah,
They already got pushed to the 26th. But which by the way, like even on the 26th, like will things be back to normal already for like the world? I
no.
don't even
Here's
here
the
in
thing,
LA.
nothing's getting back to normal anytime soon. These people are gonna have nowhere to go. They have nothing. And we already have a shortage of places to house people in LA as it is. Like, this is gonna get really crazy in a couple of weeks.
That's another
Where's
point,
everybody
is like,
gonna
yeah, I mean, anyway, I think that the networks, it would be interesting to see what the networks do and like what the big corporations do and what the big, companies do. But a lot of these companies and a lot of these corporations are filled with employees who have also lost their homes too. So like it's
Yeah.
interesting what's going to happen. Um Another thing I wanted to say really fast about homes. I noticed Mauricio, I noticed Jason Oppenheimer. Is that his name? Oppenheim from the
Oppenheim.
Sunset
Yeah.
Selling Sunset? I noticed he got involved. I noticed a lot of home people that we watch on TV here in Los Angeles are getting involved. They're saying they're waiving their commission fees for rentals, for furnished leases. My real estate agent tagged me in something yesterday. She said, we put together a list of all these furnished leases that we have, because that's what people need right now, is furnished leases going into homes right now. There's also like a huge moratorium, not moratorium, but there's like laws right now on price gouging. You cannot be putting, now deciding like, oh, I'm going to lease my house instead of 5,000 for 10,000, because there's going to be like a huge influx of people that need homes. That's the problem. People take advantage of people when they're in need right now. Like
Yeah.
I was on Amazon last night because the smell of the fire in my neighborhood got so bad that I said to Lance, like, we need air purifiers. We don't have any. And so I looked on Amazon and they were so expensive. I'm convinced that they went up in price because they
The
knew how.
air purifiers?
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
that Amazon was like, "Oh, there's like a lot of people that need them in Los Angeles. Like, let's up that price."
Yeah.
I don't know who
'Cause
makes that decision.
Well, because yeah, now they're like $100 plus.
They were $299 and they were only available next week. And then
Oh,
Lance went to Target, he went to Walmart, he went to
yeah.
multiple places. No air purifiers on the shelves, no masks on the shelves. We're back in COVID.
Wow.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you. I
I
appreciate
ordered
that.
wow,
I'm
I'm
gonna
glad
put money towards
I
the
ordered one on
fires.
Amazon. I'm glad I got that.
So here's another thing. Okay. Finally, so Whitney Cumming. So last
Oh,
night, Whitney
yes.
cracked me up. And Whitney has been so close to this fire. She lives in Topanga Canyon, which is right on the edge of the Palisades fire. It's very, very threatened. And she is very uh emotional about this. She's been very open about her journey. She cried
Yeah.
hysterically when she was going through her house trying to pack it up. She was like, I don't even know what to do. She was going through the podcast studio, and like, you don't realize, like, I don't really have that many valuables in my house. I really don't. Like, I don't even know what I would take. I mean, I've already packed all my like essentials, but
Yeah.
I guess I have sentimental things. I don't have valuables. Like, she's got things that like Joan Rivers gave her.
Yeah.
Really, like, I don't have anything that a celebrity has ever given me. Not one thing. Do you?
I was looking around. No, I mean, I'm sure I do. I mean, yeah, I do, but like to me, I wouldn't even like passport, birth certificate, like get the essentials. And I was looking around my apartment the other day and I was like, all this other, like it can all go, like it's fine. I will, it wasn't my priority. I was like, as long as I have, toothbrush, like bare essentials, and then all the important documents, even photos. I was like, at this point, I feel like all my photos have been transferred digitally. Um, that, I
Yeah.
don't know. I was willing to walk away from everything here.
So luckily she's still in the clear and she's still able to be home, but she's been posting last night, and I'm going to pull this up for you guys. She posted about this idea of what she got, a text that she got from her friend during this whole, the arsonist being kind of found. She got this text, and people are going to have their feelings, but this text went this TikTok went completely viral. Like, it has 3 million views. Hold on, here we go. Let's watch it really fast.
This is a real text that I just received from a friend of mine about the fires. I'm not going to cry because I got torn apart for my last TikTok video where I cried about my house maybe burning down. I'll spare you. She's on a plane, and I said, do you want me to go to your house and get stuff out? Like things that you can't replace. I'll go right now, even though the area is evacuated. She wrote back, you can't get in. Topanga's barricaded. The back way we use is being guarded by fire trucks now because some of the neighbors caught a guy setting more fires on the back of our hill. They chased him away. They called 911. I think they caught the guy recently in Woodland Hills trying to put gasoline in sewers. It's happening all over. Okay, happy to talk about climate change. I'm not a scientist, so I don't understand enough about it to weigh in. I think this is also a mental illness crisis. And what do you say? Oft? What do you say? Unalived? When someone unalives someone, I'm the first person to go, I'd like to hear their side of the story. I'm sure they should be in jail, but I just want to hear their side of the story. Arsonists. I don't need to hear your side of the story. Your story sucks. This is a real text that I just received.
So she actually posts the text in her Instagram stories, and she shared the text. This is like a real text. And I was texting with my girlfriend who lives in that gated community where that West Hills fire was. I was talking about it, having no idea that that's her community. She was driving to Palm Springs with her family because they haven't had power in 2 days. And she goes, Donna, that's my house. That's my house on the TV. And I'm like, Jamie, holy shit. And then it took to a new level. I was like, that's your house. She's like, we're literally watching the firefighters hopefully save my home right now on TV. Can you imagine?
No.
She said the whole community is on a WhatsApp thread, and they're all talking about the fact that there's these arsonists. This is a thing. It's a real thing. And then Whitney Cummings got, I'll pull it up really fast, this message from her what is it called? HOA?
HOA.
And I posted it. So now if you guys are part of an HOA, do you know what that stands for? HOA? It stands
Housing
for
and something administration.
It's basically the thing that you have when you are you pay basically to be in a gated community or something along those
Homeowners
lines.
Association. There you go.
Thank you, Thank you, Joe. We did
What
it,
did Joe do?
Joe. I don't know. Didn't he tell me? Joe Mendoza
No,
wrote it.
I told you.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I got it from him. I saw him. Okay, it says, dear neighbors, I know that everyone is on pins and needles, da, 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 da. I don't want to alarm you, but I received the following information from a well-sourced person in the LAPD. The LAPD is pretty sure that the fires are being caused by an arsonist, a very savvy arsonist that may know a lot about wind patterns and fire science. These are the smart fire science people. The arsonist seems to be targeting affluent areas that abuts brush areas. Our community needs to be very vigilant for any suspicious activity. Please spread the word, etc.
Yep.
Misinformation still? If it comes from the LAPD, is this still misinformation? I don't know.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the really interesting point here is this is coming from the LAPD to the HOA to the residents themselves, right? This isn't coming to you on the news. That's why this is a conspiracy theory, because the news isn't telling you this, but they're getting this information directly from the LAPD. So they're warning their community in their small gated community. They have no incentive to lie to them and to, create this conspiracy theory. They're just trying to protect their own gated community here. I don't think anybody expected this to get screenshotted and put on the internet. But it's because you're not allowed to talk about this publicly. You're not allowed to say, this is what's going on, because then you're a crazy conspiracy theorist. When it's no, this is scary. This is not normal.
I think that they should tell the world, saying, look outside your windows and be on guard.
I think they
they can't say But Whitney was so funny on her Instagram stories because she's like, my husband and I, well, she's not married, but like whatever man she's with, I don't know. I am assuming that's the dad of her baby.
No,
Um,
I think she did surrogate.
oh, who's the man that's in her video with her? I thought that was her
Oh.
man.
I don't know. I haven't
I feel
kept
like
up.
she is with a man.
I tuned out of Whitney for a few years, and only recently have I gotten really back into her.
I don't know a lot about Whitney, but I got really into her with this fire stuff.
Yeah, I love
So
Whitney.
she said, I'm like, we're driving around on the hunt for arsonists
Yeah,
because she's like, if they're not protecting me, I'm protecting me.
yeah,
We have to be vigilant. And I said to Lance last night, I was like, I mean, he and I are up in shifts. I'm like, I'm grateful that my dog is an anxious mofo and barks at every single person that comes near my house. I want someone to be like constantly watching.
but even if you see like the
Oh, dating a famous skateboarder, Josh says. He's super cool.
but I don't think it's the father of her kids.
She
Somebody
calls
said
him babe.
Whitney. Maybe it's her boyfriend, like her new boy. I don't know. Oh, the Kardashians just had to flee their houses.
Stop. Today? Why?
Kardashians flee their home as fire poses threat.
That's
Well, yeah,
not
because
now.
that was 9:30 this morning in TMZ.
Okay, but that must have been last night.
Kardashians fled their homes in the Hidden Hills after dangerous fires broke out nearby, threatening their
Yeah, that was
neighborhood.
last night's fire. There was no
Thursday
way
night, yeah.
that was the Hidden Hills fire. That was the one that was neighboring my friend's house. So my
Yeah.
friend's house is on the border of Hidden Hills, which is Kim Kardashian's neighborhood. It like borders, and it's the most stunning homes ever. You guys, it's intentional. They're trying to take down the nice neighborhoods. It's only nice neighborhoods.
Yeah.
This has never happened before. That's why I'm saying the Palisades is too weird.
Yeah.
How in the world has it never happened in my entire life living in Los Angeles? Have we ever had a fire that has taken down so many structures of affluent homes?
Yeah.
Yes, we've
It's
had the
crazy.
Malibu fires before where it's like 1, 2, maybe 3 homes before.
Yep.
Tell
It's
me.
crazy.
I'm
It's
sorry.
truly,
Like
it's not normal.
I know I sound like Bethany and the Dior bags.
Like, what do people really think happened? That like there was a spark that like the sun came down and lit some bush on fire, and then the winds just took the fire because
No, I think the
local.
winds took the fire.
No, I agree
do
with that, but
believe
I'm
the
just trying to
winds.
say what these people that are stuck in the fucking coconut trees, like what do they think like just there was a fire and then the winds just like spread it to 8 different now 9 different locations throughout Los Angeles? Like I'm trying to understand what this like you're denying climate change, like what those people really think or really believe is happening here. Because it doesn't make any sense.
I
It's
mean, the
crazy.
winds definitely contributed to the
winds,
growth of the
absolutely.
fire. The winds contributed to the growth of the fire, and the winds contributed to the fact that it wasn't able to be put out fast because you
Yeah.
couldn't get the overhead, which makes me
Which-
say, were the people that I don't want to say that.
That's a
'cause
theory.
I'm
No,
already assuming.
that's a theory though that I've heard is that whoever is orchestrating this, it might not be one person, that it may be a group of people, and whoever's orchestrating it is a very well skilled arsonist that they know how the winds are, they know the directions of the winds, and they, like this was all very deliberate.
Oh, we have
and
crazy winds coming on this day. Go.
like they know that winds are coming and they know the direction of the winds that the winds blow in, that I think they were anticipating. I don't know. I mean, we don't have answers. And if there's no answers, none of this is misinformation because we don't have information. Like we don't know what's
Exactly. Like
going
that's
on.
what I'm saying. You can't call this and TikTok pulled down my post, by the way, yesterday.
I
No,
saw
it
that.
didn't pull it down, but it pulled it down from the creator rewards program, which is not a big deal, but like they pay you on TikTok to
Yeah.
post. And my post, which is still up on TikTok and on Instagram, is me in a robe. I look like crap. I'm just literally saying, guys, this Hollywood Hills fire yesterday and the Studio City fire, in my opinion, feels like it was set intentionally. That's all I said.
Yeah.
They pulled it down for misinformation. I
Yeah.
appealed it last night because now LAPD has a suspect.
Yeah.
I appealed it and I said, it's confirmed that there was an arson. This is not misinformation. And they rejected it.
See, that's the thing. It's also crazy. I just came off of getting millions and millions and millions and millions of views on my TikTok videos. Every video was breaking the million mark. I posted one video about
Yeah.
the fires, and then that didn't break 1 million, but it got a lot of views. And then the next 2 videos that I posted about the fires got like 2,000 views. Like suddenly this influx of traffic that was coming to my TikTok account and all of these videos that are getting millions and millions of views, suddenly now I only have 1,200 views on my latest video. Like it was a very strange dip. And so, I mean, I'm not saying that people are being shadow banned for saying certain things, but I'm not saying that either.
I think that it is one of those things that, if you say like, I'm scared about the fire, I have to evacuate, like this is so scary, they're going to be okay with
Prioritize
it.
it. Yeah.
But if you say something is amiss, they're not okay with it.
They don't like that. Look at I want the timestamp to reflect that on, let's see, when was this specifically? It was, what day was this? This is Wednesday at 4 p.m. I said to Donna, oh, sorry, Wednesday night at 8:07 p.m. I said, it's arson. This is strategic. And Donna said, tell me. And I said, a few different theories. And here's the theory that I leaned into the strongest. I said, it's possibly an eat the rich act of defiance. Vigilante goes after wealthy homes, Palisades, Hollywood Hills, Altadena to burn down LA. I said the second one was it's possibly government influence, but I don't think the government's doing this. It's weird that the fire hydrants weren't working. It's weird that the reservoir was empty. It's weird that the budget was cut. But I also am hearing conflicting reports about the budget being cut, and it seems like the budget was maybe just deferred and it came in a different way to the fire department. I don't know, but I said regardless of what or who, these fires are intentional. I said that at 8:08 on Wednesday night. I called it.
Yeah, you did. And I sent that text to like a bunch of people.
It's crazy.
I take credit for your thoughts.
I said, or
There's
the
like
third
3
option
people
is,
that I send all my crazy shit to.
and then I was like, or my third theory is it's climate change, even though it's not even hot out.
Yeah. Okay, so next, I want to say, let's move on just a little bit. Well, I just wanted to let you guys know can we move on? Can we just like skivvy it a little? Skivvy? What
Let's
kind of
take the
word
hat
is
off.
skivvy? What does skivvy mean?
I don't know.
Are
Skibidi
we going to
toilet?
be able to talk a little bit about reality TV? Just like, and in celebrity news a little bit. Can we?
Sure. Did you see there's a new fire in Granada Hills?
That was the Archer fire that
that's
I
the
started
Archer
the show
fire.
talking about. Is it still going on?
It looks like.
Tell
I
me
think
where
they're
it is.
containing it, though. I think they're containing it. All of these newer, smaller fires, they seem to be containing, but it's because the winds didn't blow it up the way they did with Altadena or Palisades.
Okay, everyone. Oh, yeah, yeah. Everyone's telling me skivvies and scurry and skivvy. A maid is a skivvy. Skivvies is underwear. Well, I'm tired. The Supreme Court heard the TikTok case today per Emily D. Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they heard it. What did they say? It looks like TikTok will be banned.
They're gonna uphold the ban.
When does that happen?
January 21st,
The
19th.
day after the inauguration? That's the day?
Maybe the day. I don't. It's around when. When does TikTok get banned? Because my manager keeps telling me, like, save all your TikTok videos, save all your TikTok videos. I'm like, David, they're already saved on Instagram.
But why are you saving them? When are you going to post them?
I don't know.
3 years after the fact, you're going to talk about like when
January
Raquel
19th.
sued Ariana?
January 19th.
Then it's just done?
Mm-hmm.
How many people are going to severely be impacted financially? Think about it.
Listen, that's their bad. I always tell people, don't put all your eggs in one basket, whether it's YouTube, podcast, Instagram, TikTok. I'm all over the place. I make sure my content is all over.
We are
You
octopi.
have to be, because if one of them goes down, you're screwed. And look at a lot of people that are really popular on TikTok that don't have that same following on Instagram. And if they try to convert and transition that over, sorry, that ain't going to go well.
No, you got to be everywhere all at once. Everything everywhere all at once.
Mm-hmm. Omnipresent.
We're everywhere too much. Apparently,
I
people
know.
are annoyed with us.
I know. I had one friend that's like, you need to get off the internet. And I was like, why? He's like, you and Donna are just like all over the place with this damn fire content. And he's like, you need to get off the internet. You need to take a break and chill. I'm like, I live alone. Okay. I'm quarantined inside with 2 dogs and I have nothing to do but post and search. He's like, every time you post a lot on Instagram, I know you're just bored home alone.
It's actually kind of true. And I'm not bored and I'm not home alone, but I am a woman of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I like to connect.
Mm-hmm.
My friends that like are not online are like, "Are you ever not online? Are you?" My screen time, especially since these fires, I think is 23 hours and 49 minutes. I think I'm online when I'm sleeping.
All we do is send each other videos and news updates and theories.
I mean, you and I are texting until 10:49 and then at 5 a.m. Like something's
Yeah.
wrong with us.
I know.
Okay, so last night was Southern Charm. I made you watch the episode. I don't know if you did or not. Be honest, you didn't watch it.
I watched Traitors this morning.
Listen, don't tell me what happened because my kids like that show, so we're gonna watch it together.
It's good. It may infuriate you a little bit, but it's good.
Okay, don't in the comments if you guys say anything about Traitors, you're out of here. You're banned from my show. You are
Wait, do you
banned
have
from
any
the
Traitors predictions?
Stop.
No,
I
you don't have
said
any?
no.
Who do you think
I
is
don't
going
want
to
to
be
talk
booted
about
first?
it. I don't want to talk about it. Can we talk about Ramona Singer talking about how gorgeous it was in Florida today and I didn't even care and people got mad at me that I didn't care? Did you hear about
Ramona
that?
saying it's why didn't you care? Why do they care?
Okay, Ramona woke up this morning and she goes, "What a beautiful day it is in Florida. Look at this gorgeous weather. Look how amazing it is. Look at this view." And someone posted it. Okay, one of your friends posted it, and everyone is like, "This is so tone deaf. I can't believe she posted it." And I was like, "But I'm from LA and I'm struggling too with these fires, and I am the least bit offended about Ramona Singer posting this because it's
Mhm.
Ramona Singer. How could
Mhm.
I'm sorry. If people are writing things in the comments, I will literally cry. I'm actually gonna cry.
About what?
People are saying things in the comments. I just saw something.
Oh, about
Are they giving it away? Because I just saw something and I
no,
actually
they said ha ha ha, just kidding.
is it true or is it not?
It's not true.
Are
They're
you
kidding.
seeing one comment that's true?
No.
I
No
literally
spoilers. No
feel like I'm gonna
spoilers.
cry.
No, there's no spoilers.
Promise me
They're
before I
joking.
look
Don't
again.
spoil traitors. No, nobody's saying anything about traitors except for that one about but it's not true. Yeah.
Don't do that. That's not funny. That's like my biggest pet peeve. Okay. No, it's Bill Smith. So,
Was it Bill Smith?
it's Bill Smith. So, and then everyone, and I was like, look, I'm from LA. I don't take this stuff personally because it's Ramona Singer. That would be like you can't expect an old leopard to change their spots, right?
Yeah.
Ramona Singer is always going to be the most unself-aware. What's the word? Like she's not aware or able to be self-aware.
She's tone deaf. Yeah, she lacks that
Tone deaf.
self-awareness. Yeah.
So I am not offended whatsoever by
Me either.
Ramona sitting and living her best life in Florida. What I'm offended by are many other things that actually we should be offended by, like the person that didn't make sure that the reservoir was filled. Like, let's
Yeah.
actually worry about like the real people we should be offended by,
Or the
not
fact
focus
that the
on Ramona.
governor was prioritizing the fish over the people.
But
Like, why
no,
are we-
God forbid we actually worry about the real problems. Let's actually focus all our energy on Ramona Singer and like
can we
create posts about it.
Can we just say the 2 things that people that in California we should be prepared for are fires and earthquakes? Like, how is one of the 2 biggest potential natural disasters that could happen in California? How are we not prepared for that? Which then makes me worry, are we prepared for a fucking earthquake? Like, is shit
course
gonna
not.
go down? Like, I'm just the
Okay, but
smellfish
the point
community
is,
like,
the point is that like expecting Ramona to say, like, wake up today and be like, I am devastated about the the fires, is like expecting Jen Aiden not to order a tuna sandwich at Jersey Mike's at 7 a.m. It doesn't happen. These people are not, it's like expecting Teresa to go over to Melissa Gorga's house and hug her. They will not. They don't have this ability. Ramona Singer is tone deaf. She doesn't have it in her. So the fact that now people are creating all this content, how dare you, Ramona? How dare you?
People just like to be outraged about everything.
Well, no, it's because it's Ramona. People
And they
hate
don't like
Ramona.
Ramona. Yeah.
But I'm like, but why aren't you posting a post about, you know, the main actual enemies of what's going on in here? Like,
Yeah, I got in this loser in the comments. Somebody posted about like Jamie Lee Curtis, and she was on the Jimmy Fallon show, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm here taping the show right now, and my house is literally possibly about to burn. It's about to go down. Like, this is crazy." And I left a comment, and I was like, as she sits in the nice air conditioned studio of the Jimmy Kimmel show, I'm like, I understand she has a house and she has a home and like she's worried about that, but I was just like, there's just such a disconnect. And I was noticing that in the comments there was such a disconnect, and I commented that. And this one guy's like, well, what are you doing other than just being a troll online? I was like, first of all, sir, take a seat because I'm in Los Angeles, and strap in because here's a link to donate that's on my page. Here's a link to all the resources that's on my podcast. And here's all the content that I've been posting and linking out to, giving people updates and ways to support. What are you doing? And he's like,
but do you
"Oh,
know what?
so you
Jamie
have
Lee
time
Curtis
to
did
troll."
donate $1 million. I have to
Okay,
say,
I
and
didn't
that's
know that at the time. It was a post. I saw it, and I just like made a flippant comment about like as
so.
she
Do you
sits in Jimmy Fallon's
apologize,
studio.
Karen? Do you
I
apologize?
apologize to Jamie Lee Curtis.
You better. I actually want you to apologize publicly for everyone to hear.
I just did.
I want you to write a post.
Dear Jamie Lee, on behalf of me and my heart, I apologize.
But people are so quick to judge. So last
Yeah.
night I was so yesterday on yesterday's show, if you guys watched it, I told you all my very, very scary story about having to evacuate my mom and then where did he go? Why did he do that? He just left the screen. So I was so depressed, you guys. I was so scared. I was so anxious. I was like really devastated. I was really scared. Okay. Where did you go?
My camera died, so I had to
Oh,
switch to my webcam.
why don't you charge your shit?
I just finished taping my show, and then I
Okay,
went to try and
whatever. I
charge
don't
it
wanna
really
hear
quickly before
excuses.
your show.
I don't wanna hear excuses. So, I
Jamie
was
Lee Curtis
so
got me.
yesterday, I was so sad, and I was so, like, emotional about the fire, and I even, like, teared up, and I got a comment last night. I think I sent it to you, and it said, "You just on YouTube, "You lost a follower. Where
Bye.
were you for the WNC?" And I literally had to Google, "What is WNC?" And I thought it was the Women's National Coalition. And I didn't know and then my friend said, "No, it's Western North Carolina. So it's for the hurricanes." And I want everyone to be very clear. This is, I guess, an epidemic that's happening online. I didn't see this other than yesterday, that a lot of people are posting on anyone that's posting about the fires is like, what about us? What
Yeah,
about us?
I
About
noticed that.
Asheville? I didn't know that that was a thing. Number one, I did donate. I actually did donate. I didn't realize that I had to actually say that
Yeah.
out loud all the time. Um, we can't compare tragedies like that all the time, can we? Is that like a thing?
No, but what I will say this though. I am with you on that 100%, but what I will say is the unfortunate thing that I have noticed in seeing LA in flames is the response, especially from like President Biden. Like, I'm grateful that we're in Los Angeles and we're getting this support, but what I have noticed is that other communities didn't get as much active instant support from the US government that we're getting. And I think a lot of that does have to
Oh.
do with power and fame and the people that are being affected. It's very rich, wealthy people, and it's very
Oh, people
famous
are
people.
okay.
But I think it's because the reason LA is getting more attention is because it's Los Angeles, right? And it's the rich people are suffering, and it's celebrities are their houses are burning down. So I think there's just more media attention and conversation about it just because it's LA, you know. But I have seen that, like the Asheville and even the Hawaii fires, the Maui fires, like that was I don't think that those got nearly the amount of attention or coverage that the LA fires are getting.
But I shouldn't. But I didn't. I don't want. I don't
Yeah,
know
but that's
why
not
I got
your
attacked.
fault. Yeah, that's not
I mean,
your
it's your
fault. But
fault, not
people,
mine.
and I think a lot of people that are like making these comparisons, like I got in this dude from fucking Nashville was like coming at me. He's like, "Why do you have to be such a climate change denier?" Blah 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 blah. And then I looked at his profile and I saw he's from Nashville. And I'm like, dude, you're not even in any of these areas. Like, who are you to talk about any? Like, pointing your big fat Karen finger in my face. Like, shut up.
Stop saying the word Karen in a
Okay, what
negative
should I
way.
say then? What is a better word than Karen?
Well, in the like
Ramona?
Yiddish, Hebrew, like what we do, we say nudnik. It's like an annoying nudnik.
Okay,
Nudnik.
can I just call them losers?
Sure. Okay, we're gonna talk about Southern Charm, but for all of you guys that are really into the Justin Martindale, Jeff Lewis
Oof.
saga, Justin Martindale just released a Patreon episode. Just
He did? What did
today.
he say?
He just sent it to me, so I'm gonna listen to it after this. But I know he just released it. And it's called Jaded.
Well, he should be jaded.
Don't talk shit about my friend.
I know, I'm gonna bite my tongue.
I like Justin.
Well,
I
he
know that
doesn't
you're
like
not
me.
a big fan.
I just think he's a loser. But those are my
Stop!
words, not Donna's. Would you prefer I call him a Karen?
No, I would prefer you call him by his first name, Justin.
Just in the nick of time.
And if anyone ever talked badly about me on your show, I would hope you would stand the hell up for me.
I do stand up for you all the time. Remember when you hated that community and I defended you?
Never on my show. Never on a show. Just behind the scenes.
No, I defended you on my show, on Instagram. I told people Donna's a nice lady. She doesn't hate people.
Oh,
She
you're
would
talking
never-
about when I got called a lady? That lady?
No, after that. The scandal after
Oh,
that. With the rap.
we
I
can't
defended
talk
you.
about that.
I defended you very
You mean the
publicly in
third
all of
time I
that.
got canceled last year?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Do you guys see why I love Zach? We have so much fun together. Okay. Moving on. Moving on
Miss
to Southern
moving
Charm.
on.
To the dealer. I am not a lady. Southern Charm. Listen, I will tell you something about Southern Charm. This show is not doing it for me this season.
Really? Why?
Was it doing it for you?
No, I haven't watched this season because it just didn't look that interesting going into it.
So it's not doing it for you either, huh?
No. I mean,
Tell me in the
Austin's
comments
hot.
if it's doing it for you guys.
Austin is hot. I will watch for Austin, but that's about it.
Let me ask you a question. Coming
Yeah.
from a man, because
Okay.
they love to make this comment. Do men not ever go up to other men and say, I miss you as a friend?
Yeah. I think.
What? In this show, they're trying to make it sound like, you know, Austin is so wild that he would go to Craig and be like, I miss you.
Yeah.
Paige is like, he just wants to be me. He's so jealous of me.
Ugh, what a loser.
So basically the whole story, I don't really give a shit, to be honest, on this show about all those the like third and fourth players. All I really care about is the Craig story with the Austin, Shep, and Paige, and maybe Madison. Those are the just that five-some is like all I care about. There's so many like random players that I'm like, fast forward.
There's
Who
still
cares?
all these other random players this season.
There's Taylor, the ex,
Vanina
and her
and
boyfriend
Taylor,
Gaston.
yeah.
And then we have
I don't care about
Sally, who's a
Taylor.
new girl who used to date Taylor's ex. Like they're trying
Don't
too
care.
hard to bring in all these other players.
We don't need that many players.
Oh my God, listen to this. Tea with Tambo. I'm only here for Zach. I listened to Channel and she heard the BS Donna was saying. She is not what she appears to be.
What?
What do I appear to be?
What
Tea with
channel?
Tambo. Tea with Tambo. What do I appear to be? I am what I appear to be. I think that Craig and Paige, watching them together is so wild because now knowing that they broke up
Yeah.
and seeing that Craig is literally like living his life incredibly like for what's it called?
Paige.
Paige, like kind of like he's saying he's not, but it's very clear. It's very
Yeah.
clear that he's living his life to satisfy his woman, right? To satisfy her and just to kind of like make it so that he's I mean, in my opinion, I think we've all been in relationships like that where you're like, I'm not doing it for you, but he's doing it for her. What do you think?
Yep. No, I agree. I mean, I don't know what their dynamic is like on camera because, like I said, I haven't watched this season, but just knowing how it ends up, it's always kind of been that way, though. Like, Paige has never really been that into him. She likes having a boyfriend, she likes having him around, but like, he's willing to give her his whole life. You know, if he has to move to New York, he'll figure out a way to make it work. But there's no way she would ever move to South Carolina. You know, it
They
just
Yeah, they have this scene where they're supposed to go to Taylor, who's Shep's ex. They're supposed to go to Taylor's 30th birthday. Well, Taylor decides that she doesn't want to have the birthday. She doesn't want to be around people. Her brother had just died a few months before.
mm,
She decides, oh, they just said that Bruce Willis lost his home in the fires. That's so horrible. Poor Bruce. Um, um, and so, okay, so they decided that they were going to have the party at Craig's house. So Craig and Paige decide. Craig calls Paige, and you hear this in the car, and he goes, "Paige, Paige, do you think that we could just have the party at our house?" And Paige is on the other end, and I know she's kind of like a monotone person, but she's like, "Yeah, I guess everyone can come over to our house and hang out in our house." It's like, what? She always seems so disinterested in anything
she
Craig has
is
to
so
say.
she's disinterested in everything, especially her boyfriend.
No interest whatsoever in anything that Craig wants to do or wants to have anything, right? So she says, so then he decides, okay, let's have the party. So later they're cutting flowers. Like he buys all these beautiful bouquets of flowers and he's putting it down. And she goes, what did she say? She goes, "I'm putting, he goes, "You're doing such a good job with flowers." And she's like, "Yeah, I'm the best. I do everything amazing. Is there anything I can't do? That's just what girls do. We do everything. I'm so amazing." I'm like, I truly don't believe that um that Paige is like coming off very well this season. Like
Did she
I don't
ever come up like, I don't know who's a Paige stan. Like, I've never liked her. I've always found her to be pretty obnoxious.
I think that hold on, I'm just gonna handle this one. I can't handle this one. Sorry, really frustrating me. I handled it, you guys, in the comments. Um, uh, Paige on the show, on Summer House and on Southern Charm, is very truthfully doesn't come off very likable. If you look at it, Craig, I think, made Paige more likable over the years because the two of them were so cute, and Giggly Squad makes
Yeah,
Paige likable. If you listen to
because of
the
Hannah.
pod,
Yeah,
that well, I don't know if Hannah's so likable, but Paige is so likable on the pod. But on the show, she's not that likable.
yeah.
And on the show, she's like begrudgingly having this party. The guys come over to the party, the gay guys, Rodrigo and her and his boyfriend. I can't remember his boyfriend's name. They come to the party and she's like, "I'm so happy you guys are here. You're the only ones I really wanted to be here." Like she just never really seems like she's excited or happy to be there. Craig is the most happy person. Then they ask, like, "What's the one thing you wish you could do?" And Craig's like, "I wish Paige could cook." Paige is like, "Why do I have to cook? I don't like cooking." And he's like, "Well, because I cook." Like Craig is the wife.
She's insufferable. Like, she really is. She gives him no time of day. She doesn't even act like she likes him. Like, I don't get what he sees in her. I think he likes having to chase her love. He likes having to chase her affection. He's got mommy issues that he needs to work through.
There's something going on there that is just odd.
And then she broke
And
up with him. And then he posted that sad Instagram story.
don't get me started on my Craigie. So sweet. So, like, nothing really crazy happened during the entire party. I mean, some stuff happened, but nothing that really is interesting to me. It's all these side players talking about that my ex hooked up with this person, but I just care about the Paige and Craig story. And then later, when they're in the kitchen, they're talking to Madison, and Craig basically says, and you'll be interested in this part. Craig and Paige are talking to Madison, and Craig is saying, Austin came over last week and gave me shit because he misses me and he wants like to hang out with me. But he doesn't realize that I'm never going to be that guy that like parties anymore. But he doesn't realize that we all watched. Austin just said, like, why don't you play golf with me anymore?
Yeah.
Austin doesn't want him to go out and get shit faced. He just wants to hang out with his buddy.
Yeah.
And Craig is like, I don't care about hanging out with you. I care about working, making money, and effing my girlfriend. Any person would be offended by a friend that said that.
Yeah. And also, okay, doesn't this kind of feel like, because weren't they accusing Lindsay of trying to separate Carl when he was kind of like on his sober journey? And they were blaming Lindsay on Summer House for being like, you're trying to police Carl and you're trying to control Carl. And it kind of feels like maybe Paige, or it was the Kyle's friendship with Carl that was crumbling, and Kyle was blaming everything on Lindsay. And it kind of
Mhm.
seems like what they were accusing Lindsay of doing is what Paige seems to be doing.
It feels very much like that. And by the way, like we've all had friends like this. We've all seen guys do this with their girlfriends. We've all had girlfriends that have done this with their boyfriends. Like this is a very common thing that happens. I wish they would just own up to it. Where I wish Craig would just say, like, yeah, Paige is not really into Austin. Like she doesn't like him. Like she doesn't want me to hang out with him. She thinks he's a bad influence. But instead, Paige is like, they think it's my fault, and it's not. That's what she sounds like on the show. It's so weird. She does not come off likable in any way, in my opinion.
When has she
'Cause
ever come off likable, though?
I like Paige, so it's weird. I'm trying to remember like how I like her, but I think it's because I listened to the podcast. Because I don't think I
Maybe.
like her from Summer House.
No, I don't listen to her podcast, but I know I don't like her from Summer House. But I mean, maybe on the podcast, Hannah is just so unlikable. I mean, Hannah's funny, but I don't think she's the most likable. That maybe she softens Paige a bit, and Paige gets to be like the more likable one because people
So
hate
then
Hannah.
I mean, it's a lot. So then finally, and then we'll wrap it up. The final thing is that they're talking about the podcast, Beer and Pillows, or Pillows and Beer, or whatever the
Oh, yeah.
hell. Who comes up with that name? So finally, in that last scene, they're basically saying, Paige is saying to or Craig is saying he doesn't take the podcast seriously. This is a business. I make a lot of money with it. He doesn't take it seriously. And if that's the case, I am definitely not going to, continue to do it with him. So I recorded the podcast alone last night. He comes when he does it hungover. And it's not fun for me. It ends up being a job. And so I'm going to so the storyline now is that he's going to try to buy Austin out of Pillows and Beer. This is what we're working with Southern Charm.
But they also have their beer line, right? Oh no, Austin has the beer and Craig has the spritz.
They just opened a restaurant, which is not being mentioned one time on the show.
That's right. It's all very weird.
I know. It's such a strange. And then knowing that he broke up with Paige at the end of all this. So I'm wondering, does he regret losing his friendships?
I mean, I think it'll settle in, right? Because I think he really believed that at some point Paige was going to turn and Paige would want to get married and settle down. And I think he was just waiting for Paige to be ready. And I just think she knew she wasn't ready, and she definitely doesn't want to do it with him.
And then finally, TP says Craig is not interesting enough to carry the pod alone. I don't think they've produced a podcast episode in months, which is why they keep releasing year ago episodes.
Oh, is that what they're doing? Because I keep seeing them on the top charts, and I was like, oh, wow, are they back?
Their episode that they just released was from, I saw them on the top charts too. They're hanging out with you and I. They're up there with us.
But they're not even this is what annoys me about like reality stars, is like they can put out the most mediocre, uninteresting stuff and still hit the charts because
Brittany and Jax.
Okay,
Brittany and Jax.
Yeah.
They're number 9. They're number 9 on the charts right now. And their episode is from 4 days ago, and it's called This Time Last Year. And it's literally with Spencer Pratt. They're taking advantage of all of this shit.
Yeah, completely. They're number 10 on Spotify. I'm still ahead of them. I'm
And they're
number
all
7.
every single episode is this time last year, meaning they're just playing episodes from a year ago.
Interesting. Wow, I'm even beating NPR.
Okay, stop. You're number
I just looked-
13 on Apple Podcasts. I'm number 23. God damn, I got to
But
get
I'm
up
number
there.
7 on Spotify and number 8 on Spotify in Australia.
I love those Australians.
I know I have a lot of Aussie love.
The Australians love us.
They do.
Well, some of
I love
them.
the Aussies.
I love them. I think Australians are hot. Paige always looks like she just smelled a rotten fart.
Yeah.
Maybe Craig has gas.
Mm,
Have we ever thought about that?
Justice for IBS.
What?
I said justice for IBS.
Is this a moment?
You are my fire, the one desire.
Oh my God. Okay. Remember tomorrow to be at, if you were in Los Angeles, to go to Burbank and donate, or go to, if you're in Echo Park, to go to Zach's mom's coffee shop. I will be there in Burbank. Shoot me a message. Follow on Instagram. Follow Zach on Instagram or on TikTok. You just hit 100,000 followers.
I
That's a
did.
huge deal.
I
How
know,
do
but
they
it feels
find you?
weird to celebrate that because the world's on fire.
Don't celebrate.
There's people
then
that
they're
are
gonna call you
dying,
Ramona.
Kim.
There are people, Kim, people are dying. They're gonna find you and they're gonna call you Ramona. That's what you should call people, not Karen.
I said that. I was like, should I call them Ramona? And you totally ignored me.
As I do often.
Hmm.
Remember when you ignored me and then I said, "Why are you treating me like Dorit?"
When was that?
The last time you were on my show, and then Reddit thought you hated me.
Oh, yeah.
This was a nice, enjoyable conversation. Luckily, thank God, the fire seems like it's calmed down in Archer. Palisades is getting contained. Eaton is getting contained, and there have been no new fires since.
They just, the fire department I saw just launched a press conference. So I would imagine they'll have a number of updates there.
Okay, we're going to have to watch it. Yes, I'm going to go turn it on right now. You guys, how do you find Zach?
All over the internet. Zack Peter, you can follow me, listen to the podcast No Filter with Zack Peter. Go listen on Apple, go listen on Spotify, leave 5-star ratings. Let's keep me and Donna on the charts, and let's see how high we can get there.
Yes, and make sure to follow both of us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Zach told me to start promoting my Spotify, and I hit number 48 just by talking about it. So hit me up on Spotify and shoot me up on the tracks. Don't shoot me up either. Don't do any of that. Just like touch the buttons. Danielle, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Kelly, for becoming a member. Thank you, Kate, for the super chat, and Patrice for the super sticker. You guys, I appreciate everyone so much for being here. Thank you. Have a great weekend. I will be releasing a Patreon this weekend. Love you guys dearly, and keep following along on social media for both of us for updates. Bye.